It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Lamarcus Caradine, who plays in the fan-controlled football league. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play professional football?
So basically, growing up, I was always this kid that was always outside running, always outside doing things that was sports related. So always, I was like when I was smaller, I used to be a crybaby. So at first, it wasn't like a big deal for me to be like a professional athlete or wanting to play football. But like the older I got, the more I wanted to go out and play with the boys, go out there and have fun. So what ended up happening was I ended up going into my ninth grade year of high school, and I was doing pretty good. And I was like, I'm enjoying this. Like I'm starting to love the sport. So I get to my 10th grade year, and it's funny because I played defensive end my 10th grade year. I went to a small 2A school, so I was they had me at like a linebacker, kind of stand down linebacker, and so I would get down, make tackles, and so my 11th grade year is when they moved me to corner and receiver. That's where I really flourished at. And I ended up falling in love with the position. And I was just like, man, I want to do this for the rest of my like not just for the rest of my life, but I want to do it as a professional sport and get paid doing it.
What was your college experience like at Belhaven University?
So basically, my freshman year, it was a dude named Darian Thomas. He was in front of me. And so I didn't play a whole lot my freshman year. And then my sophomore year came. I didn't start until the third game of the season. And the first game that was the first game I ever started. I had 3 touchdowns and 117 yards. And so ever since then, like my career kind of flourished. And it was like I enjoyed every bit of being a Belhaven Blazer because it made me who I am today.
Of course, can you talk about what the process was like going from college to professional? Did you decide to go for the fan controlled, or did you try going the XFL and NFL route first?
Well, basically, I wanted to go. Of course, the biggest stage of them all. I wanted to go to the NFL, shoot for the stars, and so, but COVID kind of hurt a whole lot of players going into the draft, going into free agency and stuff like that, and hoping to get a tryout. So I was like, I kind of got a little down on myself, and I was just like, man, maybe I just wasn't good enough. So then the FCF, I seen, I had been hearing about it, getting a couple, my friend Christian Salisbury, he actually contacted me. He was like, man, you need to go check this out. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go check it out. So I get down there, and like the intensity level at the trial was insane. Like I get down there and ran through the 40, did everything to the T, and then it just the LCF ended up becoming something I really, really enjoyed, and I'm very, very grateful for.
Can you talk about some of the similarities and differences between the NFL, the big league, versus the FCL?
Well, so basically in LCF, it's the difference is 50 yards and not 100 yards. So that was like a big change for me. Like, because I'm so used to running deep. Like as soon as I make a catch, I'm trying to go the distance. And when you speak of the distance in the LCF, is you may catch a post route and you probably got like 10 more yards to run. So it's just different. But I will say in the LCF, it was a lot faster. Like in the LCF, I have been hearing from multiple people, like it's faster because it's a shorter field. It's not much room to like maneuver. And so the safeties and stuff like that, they can cover so much ground because it's smaller. So you have to run your routes to a T. You have to make a throw real fast. You have to know, like, you have to have everything to a T. Where in the NFL, you can kind of slack off just a little bit of the timing and still make a catch. It'll be a hard catch because it's still like the NFL. So it'll be a hard catch, but you can still make the catch. But in the FCF, everything had to be so fast, like so fast.
What was the process like in the FCF, where I've noticed that players don't stay on one team? It's like going different days on different teams. What is that like for you?
That was actually, it was actually, to be honest with you, at first it was kind of weird. Like, I'm not used to playing with, different quarterbacks each week, because once you get that rhythm with one quarterback, you kind of sticking with them. Like, that's just how a receiver and a quarterback relationship work. And so being with different quarterbacks made you, it really changed perspective on things, because you get so used to one throwing motion, and then you see another throwing motion, how the ball comes out. Some of them will come out later than others. Some of them got a quick release. You just got to be ready for anything. It makes you a better receiver because you can play with any. It don't matter. It don't matter who it is. You can play with any quarterback.
What is that process like whenever every game day, you go to a different team?
Well, being honest, thinking about going to a different team it was like I used to it out there the first week, but the first week when I was on Zappers and I had played with Johnny Manziel, so I was like, okay, it'd be nice to play the whole season, and on the Zappers. And I ended up switching and being on the Glacier Boys, and so I got to the Glacier Boys. I'm like, I'm enjoying this too. So the process with switching teams wasn't tough for me, because either all the quarterbacks, in my opinion, were very, very good, and they was very, very well coached in college all the way up to this point. So I didn't have a single problem with the process going from one quarterback to a different one.
During the process, is it like every other week you get switched, or is it every 2 weeks you get switched?
It's every week you could be on a different team. Like, you could be on a different team the next week.
What is the game day like, and what is it like preparing for game days?
The game days are so fun. Like, so fun. It's like going into it and preparing for it. Of course you practice and things of that nature. So you going into it, you learning different plays each week. And so going into it, you have to have that mindset, like, okay, we all know each other. We all been practicing. So being a receiver, you have to be able to change up your moves and your paces, because once you've been practicing with a certain corner for so long, they pick up everything that you do. And so when you're a receiver, and like, say for instance, like I said, the FCF made you a better receiver, because what it taught you is, if no matter who you play against the same corner every single day, he still won't be able to read you, because you can change up your rhythm, you can change up your pace, you can change up how you run the route. So instead of just running it a certain way, how you would do, like, say for instance, you was playing a different team each week, a different like set of people each week, it made you an all-around better receiver.
What was the feeling like whenever you put on the jersey for the first time in the fan-controlled football?
Well, being honest, it was exhilarating. I felt so good about it, because I had already came a long way to even be able to get to this point. And so kind of got I will say I got a little emotional. I didn't cry, but I got a little emotional thinking about it. I was like, bro, I'm really a professional. I can get some film and be able to get to the NFL now. Like, I really believe in myself.
What was your time like playing with the Glacier Boys?
Playing with the Glacier Boys was a lot of fun, because I ended up getting on the Glacier Boys week 4. And then I had won the Man Up Challenge, where they do one-on-ones on Wednesday, where you see. So basically, I ended up getting drafted off of that. So I got drafted to the Glacier Boys. That was every receiver that was on the team, like we was close coming in. Like, we was close the whole time we was there. And so it was Joseph Boykin, Andrew Jamil, and Kevontae Turpin. 3 receivers. They my boys. And then DeAndre Francois got put on the team too. And along with David Pendale, these was all like my boys. So it was so much fun. When I got called, like when they had called my name about it, I was so hyped. I was so hyped.
Of course, how was that experience? Like, do they just pick up the phone and call you, or do y'all all have to sit in front of maybe the NFL draft is like? Do y'all sit like that?
Basically, you're sitting and waiting, and they'll be like, they'll call your name, be like, "Hey, Lamarcus, the team just drafted you," and so you go out there, you hype, like it's nice.
What are some of your future plans for your football career?
I go big, go home. I go to the NFL. Like I really am. This is it's a big of mine. So I'm determined to make it happen.
What was your time like playing for the spring league?
Playing for the spring league was actually pretty fun. I enjoyed it. I met a whole lot of people. I had, made new connections. It was a lot of fun. That's about it.
What are you doing now to prepare for the NFL to get there?
I'm working out every single day. I'm making sure I stay in good shape. And I go to the room, get a tennis ball, throw it against the wall. Make sure my reflexes just coming in, make sure I'm gripping the ball, everything. I even got a football that's on my bed, and I just be throwing in the air, catching it. Like I do it so it can be muscle memory. I'm gonna catch the ball, tuck it, and it'll be okay.
What advice would you give upcoming future professional football players looking to play?
Like, say it again.
What advice would you give upcoming future professional football players looking to play football?
Don't let anybody tell you what you can't do, because I came from a Division III school. Nobody gave me a chance to even be able to be in a professional league. Now, look at me. I made it to a professional league. I played with some dogs, some dudes that can really play. And so don't ever let nobody tell you can't do it, because if you believe in yourself and you work super hard at it, you can make a difference, and you could be the difference in, this one kid going a bad route and changing his mind, and he looking at you like, he did it, so I could do it. So then now he changed his whole route. Now he, becoming a better person.
What advice would you give somebody looking to go the opposite way of the NFL and go to either the XFL, the FCL, or even the Canadian Football League?
Basically, truly, honestly, I would, sit back and tell them, bro, every professional league has dogs in it. That's one thing I realized. Every professional league has people that can play. And so whether he goes to the CFL and the XFL, that's another opportunity to play and play the game that you love. And so if you, no matter where you go, just go ball out, do the best you can. And if you end up doing the best you can and literally balling out, you're going to get your chance.
That's wonderful advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
Basically, you can follow me on Instagram at _Marcus Caradine. And also on Twitter, Marcus _Caradine.
Thank you again, Lamarcus Caradine, for your interview, and best of luck in the fan-controlled football league.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at @talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Lamarcus, for your interview, and best of luck.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.